had set aside $10 million in matching funds to help WISI build a permanent endowment, though the group failed to raise those dollars. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
For the first time in the International Space Station's history, NASA is bringing a crew home early this week because of a medical emergency. A former astronaut born here in Milwaukee knows just how high the stakes are.
Leroy Chow completed 4 space missions and served as commander of Expedition 10 on the ISS.
It was bound to happen at some point. Unknown things happen. Having said that, we are very well equipped on board. We have a very extensive medical kit.
And at least 1 or 2 of the astronauts are trained as medical officers. Chow was trained as one himself.
And we are taught how to stabilize patients, talk to the doctors on the ground, administer pharmaceuticals, do diagnostics. We have ultrasound. And for this to happen, it had to be something that was pretty serious.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News time is 6:04.
Practical principles that make every dollar count. Small budget advertisers can't afford to waste one penny. It all has to go to work in the most effective and efficient way possible. Anderson Smith advertisers are setting themselves apart 24 hours a day, every day of the year. The power of the airwaves is real. You just have to know how to harness it. We'll get you deals you can't, and you'll get results that you won't without us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. Don't buy ad packages. Buy into a plan, even if you don't use us to do it. Because unless you're willing to sell your product or service for a lot less than what it's worth, you're setting yourself up for almost guaranteed failure. Put an ad plan together and stick to it. Tell them what sets you apart and have consistent branding so it can work for you with a snowball effect rather than just trying to make a big splash. And if you need someone who can really make your dollars work hard for you, Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at CapriCommunities.com.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at TravelWisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting the Packers and head coach Matt LaFleur are working towards a deal that would keep LaFleur as the team's head coach. LaFleur said he spoke briefly with team president and CEO Ed Policy on the flight back to Green Bay after the Packers' 31-27 loss to the Chicago Bears on Saturday night. In reflecting on the loss,
I think it was more lack of execution than lack of composure. Don't get me wrong. It's execution, whether it's from the guys on the field or it's from a coaching decision in terms of, well, there were some play calls that you'd absolutely love to have back. Just like there's some plays that some of our guys would absolutely love to have back. And that's football.
LaFleur says he does want to stay in Green Bay. Also, the Bucs head back home to take on the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We are seeing some major delays. That's on I-94 near American Family Field. It's due to the construction heading both westbound and eastbound. A little worse heading westbound. Other than that, though, no major incidents. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, high of 45. Wednesday, chance of snow, mostly cloudy and windy with falling temperatures, high of 30. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 24. Friday, a chance of snow, high of 31. Right now in Green Bay, it's 32. Madison, it's 32. Waukesha, it's 34. And in Milwaukee, we are rocking at 36 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
I appreciate you starting your week with me here on What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. And if you're still in a bit of a malaise about the Packers game, I can perk you up with a reminder about a fun event with Brewers manager Pat Murphy at Brookfield's Wilson Center on Thursday. I'll also get you caught up on a couple of fresh summer concert announcements made today and pay tribute to the passing of Grateful Dead band member and co-founder Bob Weir. We'll pay tribute through songs on the show and with a photography exhibition coming to Gallery 218 in the 3rd Ward. It's coming in a couple weeks called Aging Gratefully, focusing on portraits of Deadheads then and now, and starting with Grateful Dead fans who were at Alpine Valley concerts in the 80s and finding them again decades later to take their photos again. It's a really interesting project, and you will meet the photographer William Lemke and also Gallery 218's Judith Hooks. So that'll be fun in the 7 o'clock hour. But my first guest to give us a Golden Globes recap and insights on the rest of the awards season is entertainment journalist and Oz historian Ryan J. Welcome back to What's on Tap, Ryan.
Hey, Sandy. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I love award season. It's always very exciting. Last weekend, I was at the Critics' Choice Awards out in L.A., and then, the Golden Globes watching last night with the rest of us. It's just a really exciting time.
This is your whirlwind season, and as an Oz historian and a massive Wicked fan, I feel like this has been your past couple of years.
God, these last couple of years honestly felt more like a decade. I'm kind of ready for it to wrap up, but it's been really wonderful. We call it the Oz-essence in the Wizard of Oz fandom, because the Wizard of Oz and Wicked has been so popular and the whole resurgence of it.
And I noticed you use the word popular. Don't think that went over my head. So tell me some of your takeaways from last night's Golden Globe Awards, since you are a film industry expert and you're there immersed in it. What were your top 3 takeaways?
Well, it's hard to condense it all, but I think that I can talk about what I think the problems were with the show. They really planned it horribly. I think it was one of the worst produced award shows in history, to be perfectly honest. It took folks longer to walk from where they were seated to accept their award than they had time for their actual acceptance speeches. And then, of course, the show goes over by 20 minutes because of that. And the weird locations of the Google Maps showing where the nominees were seated. I don't think anyone at home really cared to see any of that. Also, the VO by Entertainment Tonight journalist and Mark Malkin, just giving really awkward commentary as winners were approaching the stage. And it was just very ill-conceived. I understand that they always have to try.
I say, Ryan, I respect your opinion. I'm going to throw one more stick on your fire then, because I was surprised and entertained that you also had that opinion, because there were some schlocky camera moves. People kept getting in the way, or, some robot camera would get in the way of the other shot, but also the pop music that was used. So as soon as you have some poignant speech and then you hear Madonna and music, it's like it doesn't let these real moments breathe, and it was very distracting.
That's so true. I agree. I think it was just really poorly produced. They always try different things. We see this also with the Oscars. The Critics' Choice Awards is pretty consistent. We don't make many changes, year to year. It's kind of the same format. But with the Oscars and now with Golden Globes, they'll change things up, and they try different tactics and different things, and they don't always work. You just really, I think, should stick to presenting the nominees and giving the winners and letting the winners give their acceptance speeches. Nikki was a great host.
I would say that did work. For people who tuned in early and saw her, that worked. But then we saw she was supposed to have 9 wardrobe changes, and I think she might have gotten to 6. They must have cut her short because it was going long.
Right, they do that, and then there's those little bits that are pre-planned, or even some of the presenters, and they have the comedy written for them when they're doing the presentations, and a lot of it doesn't go over well either with a live audience. Nobody seems to get the whole heated rivalry co-stars presenting, and then even they themselves saying that they're just popular with like mothers and daughters when it's like, it's a gay show, which is like you're alienating your gay audience at that point. So it was very funny, just very strange. The whole night was just a little bit off. They were also palpably trying to avoid politics, which is, good in some ways to kind of like focus on the entertainment. And a lot of people don't like entertainers bringing their politics, onto the stage. But a little of it is somewhat expected.
But it certainly was not controversial. And I think the overall, when anybody wanted when any of the acceptance speeches kind of dabbled there, really the message was, let's be good to each other and let's keep using stories to connect each other. So it wasn't preachy. It was just that kind of, hey, this is the purpose that we have. I thought a surprise. I think a lot of us here in Wisconsin were rooting for Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. But I felt like the winner of that category was a big surprise.
Yes, that was
Rose Byrne.
Who did that one go to?
Who I adore.
Rose Byrne, right. Yes, Rose. I mean, Rose is great. And if I had legs, I'd kick you. She was outstanding in that. It was a really unique film, not as well seen, or certainly in these parts, not as well known as Song Sung Blue. And I would have been great to see Kate Hudson get up there.
She looked shiny in her silver. I did want her to be wearing blue. I won't lie. Lean into it, but but she's nominated for the Actor Awards, which used to be called the SAG Awards. So she's got another. And I don't want to jump ahead. I want to still stay in Golden Globes world, but I do want to get, before we talk Oscars predictions in a few minutes, what do you think the reality could be since she got nominated for a Golden Globe? She got nominated for the Actor Award. In a couple of weeks, do you think Kate Hudson will also get nominated for Song Sung Blue for the Oscars?
Yeah, I think she could. I mean, it's always interesting to see because there are less Oscar nominations. They don't break down actress into the category of musical or comedy and also drama, so she does stand a chance. As far as like predictions go right now, she is in the running. So we'll see what happens. But it is a dense category this year. For sure.
And I want to say one more thing, Ryan, to your critique of the TV production. The magical, silly fun of this Golden Globe award show is seeing, oh, look, it's Jason Bateman sitting at the same table with Harrison Ford, or Timothée Chalamet sitting right next to Leonardo DiCaprio, and somebody else like Helen Mirren coming over and taking a selfie with a TV star. It's those interactions, to be able to see George Clooney hug Noah Wyle off, during a commercial break. It's those moments. But with the camera shots, and then when you did go to the commercial, the TV screen would be split into 4 quadrants, and it would be so fast. Like, you weren't really getting to enjoy that part of what makes the Globe special.
I agree. I think that part was really fun to watch, and it was distracting having those 4 quadrants. So it's like you didn't know where to look, or by the time you'd focus in and your eyes would rest on what you want to look at, it would flip and turn to something else. So again, just like, I think they have to work on the production and maybe have a postmortem about what went wrong this year. Also, they went 20 minutes over, which wasn't helped by the self-important, insufferable at award shows, Julia Roberts. I think we have a clip for that.
Oh, I do. I'm surprised. She got the biggest, literally, standing ovation. This is what it sounded like. She's encouraging them to stand up.
Thank you. Thank you. Emma Stone, she's like, what the hell's going on right now? Yeah. Wow, thank you. I'm going to be impossible for at least a week. I appreciate that.
So you didn't like her leaning all the way into her organic standing ovation, which George Clooney did not get a standing ovation for right after her for the last award of the night.
I mean, here's the thing. That bit with George Clooney could have been cut down at that point when you're running 20 minutes over. And for her to come out and, open the envelope and pause, keeping everyone on pins and needles, especially the nominees, to suddenly promote Sorry Baby. And then it just makes it all about her. You know what I mean? At that point, just come out, say the nominees, and reveal the winner. I just felt like that was too much. And the standing O is strange. I know that it started, but I think Emma Stone had the right reaction there.
And this is why we like you as an entertainment journalist, not just an award-seasoned enthusiast. Ryan J. is with me. When we come back in just a couple minutes, we'll get your experience at the Critics' Choice Awards and your insights on some of the other things we may or may not see at the Academy Awards. Stay with us on What's on Tap.
When it's 40 degrees in your living room and you've started using the toaster as a hand warmer.
And the dog is wearing more layers than a lasagna.
And you're using a blowtorch to defrost your Cheerios.
And you're considering burning the coffee table for warmth.
Then it's officially time to call Capital. We offer same-day heating repair service 7 days a week.
And for a limited time, all our heating service calls are free when we make the repair.
Just call Capital. We'll banish the brrr.
Call CapitalCares.com.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening, but I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeanssitwaukesha.com. Sitmeanssitwaukesha.com.
Hooray for Hollywood.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, and my guest is entertainment journalist and Oz historian Ryan J. Ryan just gave us his opinion on the Golden Globes broadcast and some of the fun and some of the wasted time last night and the length. But Ryan, the last time you and I were together was the Oriental Theater for Song Sung Blue, the blue carpet event, and you got quality time with Hugh Jackman during his December visit. Tell us about that.
Yeah, God, isn't he the greatest?
Absolutely. Genuine. Kind to all 500 people who went to Cops and got handed frozen custard, Song Sung blueberry. He posed for a photo with every single person who then got a QR code to have that moment. And if you showed up in Wolverine, he'd give you the horns hands and smile and laugh with you. If you showed up, wanted to talk Greatest Showman, it was amazing to watch his kindness and connection with every person who stood on that bitter cold day to see him.
I know, and we don't have a lot of red carpet, A-listers coming through to do movie premieres here in our city. But when he came, even if we did, I should say, they wouldn't all do what he did. He properly toured Milwaukee, properly embraced it. The film Song Sung Blue was not shot here. It was filmed in New Jersey. But so for his coming here to actually go and stop by so many schools and TV stations and radio and all the other places, including Cops, was so incredible and so generous of spirit. And I just think that speaks volumes of who he is as a human being, And he's not just an approachable star. He'll approach you.
Right. And talk with you when you have a follow-up question and looks at you in the eyes. It was like, oh, okay. And has a sense of fun about him. Obviously popping up, singing with 5-card studs at Landmark Lanes after the screening. But just honestly, making Milwaukee a better place after he left. He donated $15,000 to Milwaukee High School of the Arts and gave them new instruments and gave them feedback when they sang a song from The Greatest Showman to him. That gift of time and that gift of respect and seeing you in the eye and seeing you in person, that's going to stay with people young and old who got the chance to brush with him forever. It was that positive of a ripple. And I love that he was saying, and I believe him, after he and Kate Hudson took Lightning and Thunder's story so seriously after watching the documentary Song Sung Blue and wanting to tell this love story portion of their lives, then he felt it was important to be in Milwaukee, that you couldn't have left Milwaukee out of a screening schedule because this is where the story happened.
Exactly. It's really sweet that they even came here and did what we call the hometown premiere was his call. So that's amazing.
What was one of your favorite moments with him? What did you get to ask him that maybe...
Gosh, I feel very lucky. I got to interview him 3 times over the course of 2 weeks. It was at when I saw you at the hometown premiere. The next morning, he stopped by the Morning Blend for a couple segments in studio, which was amazing. And then I was invited out to New York for the junket where I got to talk to him alongside Jim Belushi and then also the director and writer Craig Brewer with Kate Hudson. And they were all spectacular. But I'd say my favorite moment with Hugh had to be on the couch, the yellow couch of the Morning Blend, where he came on and surprised us. And he's very playful. And I told him, this is true, my favorite film just behind The Wizard of Oz is The Greatest Showman. And I was asking him about the music and what songs he likes to sing. And I kind of coaxed him into singing a song from The Greatest Showman, A Million Dreams. And I'm sitting right next to him, which was just, like so surreal to begin with. But then he put the mic in front of my face like he wanted me to join him in singing. And Sandy, I promise you, I saw that movie 10 times in the theaters. I've watched it a million times at home. I know every word to every song of The Greatest Showman. But in that moment, my soul left my body, and I couldn't do it. I just froze. And it's okay. So I think I finally muttered something out. He started to like whisper, the lyrics into my ear, and when we sang. But that was an amazing moment. And I actually had another moment like that similarly just last weekend at the Critics' Choice Awards. I was talking with Jeff Goldblum and my business partner, Aaron Harburg, whose great-grandfather, Yip Harburg, is the lyricist of Over the Rainbow and all the songs in The Wizard of Oz, started singing Over the Rainbow to Aaron. And then when I asked Jeff if I could get a picture with him, he started singing in my ear, If I Only Had a Brain, which was so surreal to me, to have the Wizard of Oz from the Wicked movies singing the Scarecrow song from the Wizard of Oz to me. I burst out in tears. It was just such a moment.
That's an Oz historian moment for sure. So you are a member of the Critics' Choice Association, which means you get invited to these Critics' Choice Awards where you just shared. You are up close with Jeff Goldblum and the entire Wicked cast. You, on your Ryan J. Reviews Instagram, I saw Ariana Grande light up when she sees you, and that little petite thing comes over and hugs you. That's got to feel special.
It's so again, surreal and special. And I'm so glad that a friend of mine captured the moment because I don't think I'd remember it. It's such an adrenaline rush, and it's so, almost like unbelievable. You never expect something like that to happen when you're just like, at the heart of why I do what I do and when I went into this line of work is because I'm a big, fanboy. I always, born and raised here in Mequon, and I just always loved Hollywood and wanted to be a part of it. And so being adjacent to it in so much as I'm a part of the Critics' Choice Association, I'm reviewing movies. I get to nominate for movie and TV categories and vote for them. I just love all that.
Well, so you have a passion for pop culture and art and the art form, and you yourself are a documentarian, and you just mentioned Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and you are co-producing and creating a documentary about that song and have been working on that. So I always want to know the updates, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm fingers crossed for big progress in 2026. What are a few things...
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what are a few things you're watching for when the Academy Awards nominations come out on January 22nd, and then the excitement ramps up to the ceremony in March? Just a couple things you think we should keep an eye on.
Well, anything surprising is obviously refreshing after we go through the Critics' Choice and then the Golden Globes. And, by the time we get the Oscar nominations, it's like pretty well established. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of one battle after another, Sinners, hopefully some Wicked for Good. It hasn't really raked in any wins this season, but, some of the bigger ones. I think K-pop Demon Hunters seems to be sweeping this season, to no one's surprise, really. So, yeah, I think those are the big ones. But if you haven't yet seen One Battle After Another or Sinners, or Hamnet, you might still have some time to enjoy those before the Oscars to kind of be in the know.
Exactly. And now you know what you should spend your time and money on. He is Ryan J. Find him online, Ryan J. Reviews on YouTube and RyanJReviews.com. Thank you so much. And I look forward to more conversations with you as award seasons continue.
I appreciate it, Sandy. Thank you, too.
Take care. 2 concert announcements and a tribute to an enduring music legend who passed away on Saturday. That's coming up on What's on Tap. Stay with us.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. with new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to co-host of the Dunker Spot podcast, Steve Jones. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
If you got a chance.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx and excited to be hanging out with you till 8 o'clock covering culture and creativity in Wisconsin. 2 concert announcements to update you on and a tribute to an enduring music legend who passed away on Saturday. We will pay tribute both musically and photographically. All those details are coming up next on What's on Tap. But right now from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, here is Elizabeth Lintonen.
Thanks, Sandy. A man from Milwaukee is charged in the death of a pregnant woman found after a house fire. 21-year-old Cameron Washington faces arson and multiple first-degree recklessly endangering safety charges in the death of his girlfriend, 22-year-old Gladys Johnson Ball. Washington is the father of Johnson Ball's 3-year-old daughter and her unborn child. Police found her body in the room that was on fire, but it is still unclear what caused her death. Washington has pled not guilty to misdemeanor charges of pointing a firearm at a person. If convicted on all of the current charges, Washington could face over 100 years in prison. The medical examiner has identified the 2 people who died in a triple shooting on Milwaukee's north side. 20-year-old Zacharian Teague was shot near 34th and Sheridan Saturday evening. He died at the scene. 17-year-old Jory Anderson was shot and later found dead in a stranger's yard. A 16-year-old was also injured in the shooting. Police are still searching for the shooter. A former nonprofit board president is charged with stealing $39,000 from a pawn downtown promotions. The theft happened over about 3 years with organizational funds allegedly used for personal expenses and unauthorized withdrawals. The case began after a bank reported suspicious financial activity, leading detectives to review years of records and witness statements. The case is now moving through court. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Those delays near American Family Field are starting to ease up finally. Westbound is still a little worse than eastbound on I-94, but other than that, should be a pretty smooth ride. Other than that, no major delays. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, high of 45. Wednesday, chance of snow, mostly cloudy and windy, falling temperatures, high of 30. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 24. Friday, chance of snow, high of 31. Right now in Green Bay, 31. Waukesha, 33. And in Milwaukee, it is 35 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:32.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Ford Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
Every year, I make the same resolutions.
What, get rid of your husband?
Don't be silly. No, get organized, and I'm finally keeping it.
Because we're turning that cluttered closet into a custom space that actually works.
More shelves, better hanging.
Space for shoes and sanity.
Start the new year with a closet that makes your mornings easier.
It's one resolution you don't have to do alone. We'll design it with you.
Get started at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
That is the sound of the All-American Rejects. And maybe you saw them on Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. Maybe you saw them at Fiserv Forum last October. You have a chance to see them again this summer. Just today, the Wisconsin State Fair announced All-American Rejects Thursday, August 13th, performing on the Bank 5-9 main stage. Dirty Little Secret, one of their songs that you know you will hear, their early Swing Swing. That was like my first song I think I heard of them. And then, of course, Move Along. Get yourself going. So, yeah, special guest to be announced. So I'm guessing there'll probably be a pretty cool opening band announced, but All-American Rejects, something to look forward to August 13th on the Bank 5-9 main stage, and those tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Looking for the Wisconsin State Fair website. And another cool thing is Friends of the Fair, which is a membership that benefits the Wisconsin State Fair Park Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization, and if you become a friend of the fair, you get to get in on a special pre-sale. So WSFPF or pfoundation.org. But if you go to wisconsinstatefair.com, you'll get all the scoop there. And, of course, your concert admission does get you admission to the Wisconsin State Fair as well. And that was one concert announcement today. And the second concert announcement is for country music fans. Oh, hold on. That's still All-American Rejects. Cody Johnson. If you got a chance, take it. Country music fans. He's going to headline Summerfest for the very first time as a headliner Friday, June 26th on the American Family Insurance Amphitheater stage. Should be fun. Who's opening for Cody Johnson? Jesse Murph. And Cody Johnson, he's not doing too bad. CMA vocalist, male vocalist of the year. Number one hit, Till You Can't, you hear right now. So it should be fun with Jesse Murph. She'll be opening that stage, so it should be nice to have summer concerts to look forward to, no matter what style of music you like. And you know, here on What's on Tap, I'm such a music fan, I will keep you as updated as possible on concert announcements. In other music news, Grateful Dead fans were gutted over the weekend. News that co-founder and continuing musician Bob Weir passed away. After 7, local photographer William Lemke is going to join me in the studio to share his Aging Gratefully portrait project. It focuses on deadheads throughout the years, and his exhibition will be at Gallery 218 in the historic 3rd Ward in just a couple of weeks. And next, the biggest deadhead at Good Karma Brands pays tribute and chooses the appropriate song for the song you need to hear. That's next on What's on Tap.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The Menards 15% off bag sale is here. Whether you pack it, load it, stuff it, or stack it, if it fits in the bag, you save 15%. Need new tools? Updating your bath or faucet? Or simply want some snacks? Put them in the bag and save 15%. So pick up a bag in-store at Menards and find out how much you can fit in the bag. Now through January 24th. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
At Capri Communities, they believe people of every age deserve to enjoy life.
I recently moved my dad into a Capri community. He has gained such new independence. His falls have decreased, he's eating healthy meals, and going on great new adventures. Knowing Dad is in a great place really gives me the peace of mind I needed. And now, we're both enjoying life again.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be absolutely incredible. We're taking a trip this year called Treasures of Egypt. It includes Jordan, Petra, the Dead Sea, a 7-night Nile River cruise on a beautiful boat. It's going to be mystic and magical. It's September 24th, 2026. Stunning world-class itinerary, the Great Pyramids, the Towering Sphinx, that 7-night Nile River cruise, the tombs of Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings. It's an amazing itinerary. Let me get you the information. John at WTMJ.com. You send me an email. I send you our beautiful brochure with all the info, including pricing. John at WTMJ.com. Colette Vacations is our leader. They are the best. They'll provide us in top-tier hotels, lots of food, lots of drink, lots of history. Let me take you to the treasures of Egypt, Petra, and the Dead Sea. Send me an email, john at WTMJ.com. JOHN at WTMJ.com. Egypt this September.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
Shining on me. Other times I can barely see.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, and you are hearing Truckin', one of the signature songs of the Grateful Dead. And on Saturday, news of the passing of Bob Weir, co-founding member, guitarist, and singer and songwriter with Grateful Dead, rippled through. Unfortunately, had a long battle with illness, but was performing as recently as last August. And to put Bob Weir's musical contributions in perspective, joining me on What's on Tap is the biggest Grateful Dead fan at Good Karma Brands.
Hi, I'm Josh DiMaggio. I am a producer here at ESPN Milwaukee. I am quite the Deadhead. I wish we were joining under better circumstances.
Yeah.
But there is no better person to celebrate, I believe, than Bob Weir, who lived one of the better lives in all of American music.
Why do you say it that way?
It is believed that Bob Weir has played the most concerts out of anybody in history because he joined the Grateful Dead at the young age of 17 and then played up until as recent as last year.
Because he evolved and he had Rat Dog and other bands.
Yes, he had his own ventures. He played on different bands. He started on a band before the Grateful Dead. And then, of course, we know the John Mayer outfit that they did of the Dead and Company. He died at the age of 78. So that is 61 years of concerts. And what do we know about the Grateful Dead? How consistently they played concerts. They were always on the road, always touring. They were changing what we know live music to be. They were famous for the wall of sound, the amount of speakers never seen before. They are innovators. Bob Weir is one of the main driving forces behind that. And I think when we think about Americana and we think about music, the Grateful Dead has to be in the center of all of that.
Incredibly influential because of
Yes.
their sound, their style. And when did the Grateful Dead start? 60s, right?
Yes, in the early 60s in San Francisco, sort of the birthplace of the Beat generation and the hippie movement, I guess you could say.
And trippiness
Yes.
as well. You got to put the trippy with the
Yes,
hippie in
yes.
that. When did you fall in love with the Grateful Dead? Because you are not an old hippie with a VW van. You know, like you're a younger person.
Yeah, I fell in love with the Grateful Dead probably somewhere around high school, I would say, 2004 to 2007. It is probably the story for most people who would call themselves Grateful Dead fans. You've got an older friend, an older brother, somebody that listens to the Grateful Dead, and you sort of get a foot in, you find your song.
And what was your gateway song?
Truckin'.
There you go.
Yes, it was. And then for a lot of people as well, Shakedown Street. I remember listening to those songs consistently and then struggling to sort of get into the Grateful Dead because there's, one, just so much. And also the fact that their recorded music is way different than their live music. So then you got to delve into the eras of the Grateful Dead and all the years of music, how their sound changed with the times changing. There's thousands and thousands of live recordings that you can listen to. Basically, every show from the Grateful Dead has been archived and is able to be found today still. There are people who can hear the start of a song and tell you the year and day, era, who was playing for the concert. I wouldn't be able to tell you, oh, that's from Europe 72 when they were in Brussels.
But that speaks to the appeal of the Grateful Dead in the 60s and 70s, all the way through the 90s before Jerry Garcia passed away.
Yes.
People traveled to see them. People traveled with them. I don't know any other band that has had that level. Fish in the modern times, but you couldn't have Fish if you didn't have the Dead.
Right.
But that's real art. I think art evolves like
Yes.
that. So we were just talking about live Dead. How many times have you seen the Dead live? Did you get the chance?
I've only seen twice, and both of it was Dead and Company. I had the opportunity to see them at Alpine Valley and then also at Wrigley Field 2 years ago.
I made huge plans to go see the Grateful Dead at Soldier Field, and I was finally going to check this off my list, to be around that environment,
Yes.
the phenomenon, see the incredibly loyal fans who are doing the swirling dances,
Yes.
like all the things that
spinners.
you've heard. Yeah, and see all the tie-dye. It was the weekend Jerry Garcia passed away.
Oh.
I missed it.
Wow.
So I do feel like to have seen the original lineup had to have been magic, but how powerful and what a legacy the music is that they never lost popularity.
And the band changed and it evolved and it catered more towards their age and their ability to stand on stage and the pace at which they played. But the true core of what made the Grateful Dead was there. And I think a lot of that is lived through the fans, the experience, the community of being with the fans. And that's what was so great about the Grateful Dead and is still with whatever remains and whatever we will see following it, because there's countless cover bands that have made careers playing music of somebody else that I think is just going to carry on their legacy forever. I also think the iconography of the Grateful Dead, the merch, and the
That
logos,
skull.
the dancing bears, the steal your face skull, yes, all that stuff is like sort of set the standard for what is tour merch and how expensive the secondhand era of rebuying those tour shirts and all of that. It's created all these economies that stack on top of each other. Just the way they create a whole economy around them wherever they travel. And there are people who've dedicated their life to traveling with the Grateful Dead and experiencing it as much as possible.
And that says a lot about not just the music, but just like the Stones' Lips. These are iconic moments from classic rock that still live on today and have that appeal and turn on new fans. bands. Just like you learned about them in the 21st century.
Yes.
I mean, that's a trip. That in itself, it's a trip.
It's like a difficult movie or a difficult book to read. You have to sit with it. You have to appreciate it. You have to be confused. You have to not understand it.
Yeah.
And then you go back and you get it. And I think that's largely what makes being a fan of the Grateful Dead something special, because people invest a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of effort into understanding what the band is, who they are, who Bob Weir is, who Jerry Garcia is, and just how important they are to sort of what we know to be music today.
So what do you think would be the right song to play to pay tribute to now the late Bob Weir?
Some of my fellow Deadheads might scoff at this, but I think you have to go with, this is a song Bob Weir is a songwriter on, amongst many. It is their most commercially successful. It's from 1987. It's Touch of Grey. It was one of the first times that they crossed over into the mainstream appeal. And it's not necessarily what they were looking for, but Touch of Grey is one of those songs that people understand, people get, people hear and recognize. And for as many years as it took, I mean, 1987 was their most popular hit. They've been playing music for 30 years at that point. And then finally to chart number 9 on the Billboard Top 100 at that point in their career, to me is amazing. And it's just a fun song. It's upbeat. Just a classic song that people recognize and people love. If you got to know Bob Weir and got to know his music, you know he's looking for a celebration and looking for good times and looking for all the happy things.
We'll hear that in Touch of Grey, the song you need to hear next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Do you have the January blues? The holidays are over, the kids are gone, it's cold outside? I know. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. Just brought my kids who are here from Texas and New York to the Fox and Hounds. It was fantastic. It will be for you, too. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every night. Enjoy the new twin lobster tails, honey glazed salmon, braised pork shank, or the mixed grill of a filet, shrimp, and scallops. All buy one, get one free. Any entree, any dessert on the menu, buy one, get one free, even the great ice cream drinks. Relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons or 100 wines in the Fox and Hounds Old World Bar and 8 dining rooms with 7 real wood-burning fireplaces. It's a one-of-a-kind gem. Thousands of holiday lights are still up. It's just off Highway 167 near the Holy Hill Shrine. Just Google Fox and Hounds. Call and reserve your free dinner tonight. Tables are open.
She's been putting off knee surgery for years, and she had a trip coming up to Ireland, and she knew she was going to be walking a lot more than she had become accustomed to. So she finally took a chance and called for an appointment. And you know, it ended up helping her. She was able to do the walking and sightseeing pain-free. It led to an enjoyable trip, and I think we're going to be able to help her live a better life going forward. One that won't let pain stand in her way any longer. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And these are the kind of real-life stories I love to hear. Pain can take so much away from us. And when we can alleviate that kind of pain, it makes our purpose here at Rejuvenex that much more fulfilling. Don't let pain stand in your way any longer. Every day is precious. Take that next step. Schedule your appointment at Rejuvenex and start living your life again. Take a look at our Google reviews to learn more.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
On Saturday, we found out sad news in the music world. Bob Weir, the guitarist and songwriter, co-founding member of the popular, massively influential American rock band, the Grateful Dead, passed away. And according to a public statement from his family, Bob Weir died from underlying lung issues after recently beating cancer, 78 years old. And he was a member of the Dead for the first 3 decades and really kept the flame of the band's legacy going for 3 more decades, performing in different evolutions and collaborations, including the band Rat Dog and playing with John Mayer. Fans call him Bobby, and the song you need to hear is the last song he played at his last final live appearance last August. Released in 1987, it's the refrain, "I Will Get By." Helped take the band from just not only cult heroes with a big audience that followed them around on tour, but it got them their only top 10 hit and a whole lot of airplay on MTV. Remembering Bob Weir with the song you need to hear and a bunch of skeletons playing instruments in the music video. Grateful Dead, Touch of Grey on What's on Tap.
Draw the curtains, I don't care, 'cause
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This winter, treat yourself or someone you love to a getaway right here in Milwaukee. Milwaukee Hotel Month is coming with up to 25% off stays from January 14th through February 28th. From cozy boutique hideaways to modern downtown favorites, you'll find the perfect place for any kind of getaway. Enjoy world-class theater, inspiring museums, and award-winning dining, all paired with a warm, welcoming place to unwind after a full day of exploring the Brew City. Check in, chill out, and make winter feel a world away at visitmilwaukee.org/hotelmonth.
St. Anne's Center for Intergenerational Care switched from a previous vendor to business technology from James Imaging Systems. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. It's not just all about the money. We're getting value here as well.
Robert Prang, CIO with Tri-City National Bank, likes the fact that James Imaging is local.
So being able to work with a local company like James that has that flexibility with their staff and being able to deliver for us has given us the ability to make the right decisions for our organization.
And Junior Achievement of Wisconsin VP of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, had this advice for others.
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution, and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7 o'clock, it's 35 degrees here in Milwaukee. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, high of 45. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is accusing the Trump administration of threatening him with a criminal indictment in an attempt to influence the independent central bank's decisions on interest rates. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
So I think it's important to start out here saying that it was, in fact, the chairman himself, Jerome Powell, that confirmed the news that there was speculation about that he is, in fact, now under investigation by the Department of Justice in an incredibly rare video, not just for him, who has been quiet in the face of public criticism from the president, but for any Federal Reserve chair to come out publicly in this way and make a video essentially laying out the charges against him and refuting them.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said President Trump did not instruct the Justice Department to investigate Powell. The Illinois man charged in the death of Ohio dentist Spencer Tepp and his wife Monique making his first court appearance today. ABC's Alex Perez.
39-year-old Michael McKee arrested, facing aggravated murder charges, appearing in an Illinois courtroom, agreeing to be extradited to Ohio. Neighbors stunned.
He did not seem like somebody that would do something like this.
Court records obtained by ABC affiliate WSYX show McKee and Monique married in 2015 and divorced in 2017, stating they were incompatible.
The Tepps family and friends will come together on Sunday for the funeral. One parent pleads guilty and the other heads to trial for locking their children in a storage unit in Milwaukee. Asia Zielinski and Charles DePriest were charged with multiple felony counts of child neglect when police found 6 children under 10 years old, including a newborn, locked in a unit at Store Safe on 27th Street. The children were kept in the unit with no electricity or running water for about a month and a half. Felony charges against Zielinski were dropped in a plea agreement. She pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts last week. DePriest will stand trial today on 6 counts of child neglect and 1 count of possessing a gun as a felon. Several students staged a walkout at Wauwatosa East High School in protest of ICE activity across the country.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! ICE has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! ICE has got to go!
The students tell our partners at TMJ4 News the walkout was a direct response to the shooting death of Renee Good in Minneapolis. In a statement, the Wauwatosa School District says that they view the walkout as a way to, quote, learn about the power of collective action in a safe and constructive way. The closure of the Aldi's store near Sherman and Custer leaves residents in Milwaukee's 1st District in a food desert.
It's going to leave a huge hole in the ecosystem for that neighborhood.
Alderwoman Andrea Pratt says the nearest major grocery store is now a 30-minute walk for many residents on the near northeast side, many of whom don't have reliable access to transportation. Pratt tells WTMJ how she is trying to keep fresh food for sale close by.
People are always opening up convenience stores. I have a lot of gas stations. I am going to those stores and asking them to please reserve part of their stores for fresh food.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 7:03.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
We see you out there being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself men's full blue denim jeans, $10.99 a pair. 8 packs of LED light bulbs, just $4.99. Plus, get a free $20 Blaine's gift card when you buy select bags of Victor dog food. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Forward Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. ESPN's Adam Schefter is reporting the Packers and head coach Matt LaFleur are working towards a deal that would keep LaFleur as the team's head coach. LaFleur said he spoke briefly with team president and CEO Ed Policy on the flight back to Green Bay after the Packers' 31-27 loss to the Chicago Bears on Saturday night. LaFleur said he does want to stay in Green Bay. He and the general manager each have 1 year remaining on their contracts. In other sports news, the Bucs ended their 4-game Western road trip with a 108-104 loss to the Nuggets in Denver. Coach Doc Rivers says the passing was horrific.
We had guys wide open, and the balls are down by our ankles, down. I mean, the off-target passing tonight really did us in.
The Bucs head back home to take on the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, it's all clear out there. I'm not seeing any major incidents nor any major delays. Time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, low of 32. Tomorrow, slight chance of rain, partly cloudy, high of 45. Wednesday, we've got a chance of snow, mostly cloudy and windy, falling temperatures with a high of 30. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 24. Friday, another chance of snow, high of 31. Right now, in Green Bay, it's 31. In Madison, it's 32. In Waukesha, it's 33. And in Milwaukee, we are rocking at 35 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you a couple of members of our arts community as we gear up for Gallery Night MKE on Friday night, the first one of the year. And I get to welcome two folks connected with Gallery 218. And first and foremost, introduce yourself and how you are connected with Gallery 218 or 218 and tell me how to say it correctly. I asked you before you got here.
Thanks, Sandy. Thank you for having me here along with Bill. I'm Judith Hooks. I'm the director of Gallery 218. Yeah.
And you're an artist yourself.
Yes, I am.
What is your medium of choice?
Painting, drawing, printmaking.
Creators create.
Yeah.
You just can't
stick to one thing.
What is tickling your fancy these days?
Mostly oil painting.
And how do you describe your oil paintings to people if they ask you and you're not standing in your gallery?
Yeah, it's very hard to talk about art without having it in front of you. And I was thinking about that on the way over here. They're very atmospheric. I mix my own paints and I do them in layers, sort of like a watercolor. And then I do a kind of writing, drawing movement into the paint before it dries. And it kind of builds up this sense of depth. And so it kind of gives kind of a mesmerizing feeling, and people just like to stand in front of them and stare for a while and kind of relax.
That's a great emotional connection.
Right.
Is that the feeling you want to invoke in your paintings?
Right.
And then also another creator is with me. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Bill Lemke. I used to be involved with 218 Gallery a long time ago.
Yeah. This is a full circle moment.
Oh, good.
Judith reached out to me recently to talk about the book project that I just completed.
And it is a very timely book. We're going to talk about Gallery Night first, but we will be talking about your book. Tell everybody the title of your book and the subject.
The title is Aging Gratefully. It's photographs and stories about dead heads, spanning nearly 40 years.
And where were you this weekend when you found out about the passing of Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead?
I forget. We were driving somewhere and I started getting text messages from friends.
I'll bet your phone was blowing up.
Yeah. It's just a very sad moment.
And are you a longtime Grateful Dead fan? Were you trailing them around?
I mostly did the Midwest. I saw over 100 shows with Jerry Garcia back in the day. My first show was 1980. I went to New York City to see him, but I would go mostly Indiana, Chicago area, and Alpine Valley, and of course Milwaukee.
Emotional connection.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I started listening to their music in the early 70s when I was still in high school. And my first concert, though, was Alpine Valley, 1980.
There you go. Do you still have the ticket stub?
I have a lot of ticket stubs. I'd have to look through and see if I have that one, but probably not, but I do have a stack of them.
It's just so funny. I miss that about the 21st century, not having ticket stubs and like a kind of a scrapbook. It's like it's not the same when it's on your phone in your wallet. It's like you know you went, but it's just even more ethereal, like a live show can be.
I actually have a ticket stub from the Sphere from last March. I was given a Miracle ticket while standing out in front of the theater. So that was my first Miracle. 70 years old, and I get my first Miracle ticket.
Tell me about a Miracle ticket.
So if you're without a ticket and you're outside the venue just milling around, I was actually handing out cards to try and get some interest in the book project. And if you hold up your hand with one finger in the air, it means you would really like a ticket. And I did that the first night we were there because I didn't have tickets. I didn't know that I would be there at that point. And someone came by and said, "Do you want 2 tickets for the upper section? I paid $400 a piece, and I'll sell them to you for $100 a piece."
Ooh.
And the next night, due to a problem with StubHub, I had tickets that disappeared. The person who was going to sell them to me refused. So again, I'm handing out cards for the book, and I held up a finger, and a woman walked up to me, and she said, "You want a ticket for tonight's show?" And I said, "That would be great." And she handed me a free one.
That's why I said that has to be where the miracle comes in.
That's the miracle.
Is that a term in deadhead culture, or is that just something you came up with?
It's a term in deadhead culture for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, people are walking around and say, "I need a miracle." And of course, that's one of the Grateful Dead songs is "I Need a Miracle."
What a lovely anecdote. Well, now you've met our artists, and when we come back, we'll tell you all about what to plan for Gallery Night and for the Aging Gratefully Night. 2 fun events coming up at Gallery 218 in the historic 3rd Ward. So stay with us. I'm Sandy Maxx. She is Judith Hooks. He is Bill Lemke. More art talk next on What's on Tap.
Since 1957, we've been making great pizzas. The recipe's the same, the dough's made daily like it's always been. The fresh veggies are cut daily, and the quality control remains as high as it's ever been. We gotta keep it high, because we know when you can count on consistency, that it keeps you coming back. So how about Marty's Pizza tonight?
Remember, Marty's Pizza. Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Bag huge savings on your painting projects at Menards. From your kitchen and bath to doors and trim, and even your ceilings. Dutch Boy has the perfect choice for your painting projects. Dutch Boy's Durafighter is a tough paint and primer that provides great scrub resistance and durability. Durafighter interior paint starts at $27.75 a gallon. Get an additional 15% savings on all Dutch Boy paints when you put it in the bag. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And one of the fun things in Milwaukee that happens 4 times a year is Gallery Night, MKE, and getting ready for the very first one. And I have Judith Hooks of Gallery 218 or 218. You say it's interchangeable. Which do you prefer?
Well, when we originally started, it was Gallery 218, but I think as people started using cell phones, looking at numbers, 218, so people say it that way a lot too.
As long as
you remember the name.
I was saying, as long as they can find you. She is Judith Hooks, owner of the gallery, and also joining us is artist and photographer Bill Lemke, who is having an Aging Gratefully art exhibit and book signing on January 24th. So that's just a couple weeks away. But let's talk about what's coming up sooner. Right. Tell me about what you have planned for Gallery Night.
Right. So it's the first Gallery Night of the year, so we're very excited. And it looks like the weather's going to be okay, so we still anticipate a good crowd. And we have a new exhibit by our gallery artists. And I'm not the owner, I'm the director. We're a cooperative gallery, and we have been for all 35 years. So everyone pitches in to make it run. So we have a set group of artists.
What a nice community. Like, that just reinforces that we have an arts community. It's not like, I want to show my artwork, you do it. You know?
Right.
You sit here the whole time, you know?
Yeah. So, so we have 6 artists showing this time. We do like to have 10, and we do have openings for a few more artists. If people are interested, they can contact me. And we're going to have live music and food and a cash bar.
And that's one of the things I like, because I've had my eye on Gallery 218, 218 in the Marshall Building.
Yes, Marshall Building, second floor. Take the elevator.
And that's a great space for Gallery Night, period, because you can just see so much art all in one building.
Right. Yeah, just park your car and stay the night.
Yeah, and the other thing is almost every gallery is going to offer you a little something to nibble on.
I can't promise that, but I know we will.
but that's what I mean. So you can stroll and be social and nibble and sit.
Yes, you can take your time
and chat. Yeah, like if you only hit one gallery or two, it's not a waste of time. But because you're there in the Marshall Building, you have the opportunity to visit many galleries.
There are 7 floors.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so many artists, because you said you have 6 artists on display.
Yes.
For gallery night. And
Yes.
one of the other, so who are the artists that you will be able to see?
Well, myself, Bernie Newman, Holly Strope, Stephen James, Jennifer Scafoni, Richard Sullivan, and did I get everybody?
That's everybody on my
yeah.
list. So tell me what kind of artwork you can see. What is Bernie Newman's specialty? And are they all local artists?
They are local or regional,
Okay.
so near Milwaukee and then some Chicago suburbs and Madison.
Cool.
So, yeah, nice variety that way. So Bernie, as you asked, is a photographer. He's been with the gallery for 20 years. So he's very experienced. He does beautiful work. Bill, I don't know if you know him or not, but he does both black and white and color and just natural things mostly. And he likes to look at things a little differently, and it's really fun to hang his work because it goes so well with the paintings because he has a very painterly eye about things. So it works in well with all the other art that's in there.
And Holly Strope?
Holly Strope is what we call a self-taught artist, and most of her work is figurative, acrylic paintings, and a lot of them are people she knows or herself, and they have kind of a whimsical feel about them.
You can do some playful art.
Yeah.
And the Stephen James?
Stephen James just started painting again after being in business. He still is in business, but after he went to the University of Oshkosh, he kind of went into the real world and stopped painting, but now he's started again, and he does very colorful, abstract work, but very kind of natural tones and colors you would find in nature.
Interesting. Different palette. That's not necessarily what you think of when you think abstract painting.
Right.
And Jennifer Scavoni?
Jennifer's another photographer. She likes to, what she calls relics. She photographs relics, buildings that are down, rock formations, very dramatic, black and white, very deep, deep blacks, and, very high contrast. And so they're very dramatic looking.
I was like striking.
Yeah, they do. They pop off the wall. Yeah.
And then Richard Sullivan.
Richard is another painter. He's actually from Oak Park, Illinois. And he is doing large abstract paintings. He's our newest artist. And again, they're very inspired by nature.
And as the director, how do you go about choosing or getting to know these artists and saying, we'll make space for you?
Yeah, well, it's a process. A lot of people send me their work, their images over the internet. Sometimes I find them on Instagram. Sometimes they are walk-ins. So different ways. And it's always a challenge, and it's an ongoing process.
What are the criteria that you look for?
Yeah, everybody asks me that. Well, quality, that they have the skills to handle the medium that they're using and they understand it. And importantly, that they're pursuing an idea, that they're just not all over the map, trying everything under the sun. They have an idea and they're pursuing it. And it's something a little different that maybe I haven't seen before.
Sure. Catch you by surprise.
Yeah, we just like to mix it up a little.
Well, I know you will be there on Friday at
for
Gallery
sure.
218. Yeah. Will the rest of the artists be there as well?
Let me see. Because some of them live pretty far away, if the weather's bad, maybe not. Bernie is in Argentina for the winter, so definitely not him.
Wow.
Yeah. And some of his photographs are of Argentina, and they're really nice. So maybe Steve, he lives in the area. We'll have to wait and see.
Argentina. I feel like maybe you should have a little Malbec, around for the cash bar.
Oh, well, I can't say.
But one of the things that I really like about keeping an eye on Gallery 218 is you often have live music.
Yes,
accompanying the gallery nights. Who is going to be performing?
Right. This time it will be String Theory guitar duo. It's Keith Watling and his friend Gareth I can't remember his last name right now.
That's okay.
But they play a mixture of things, Latin, jazz, blues, folk, some originals. They've been playing for many, many years. Keith also teaches guitar. And Keith has been playing with our gallery since the very beginning because we're 35 years old. I would say at least 34 of those years, Keith's been with us in one form or another.
That's a wonderful longevity. And what do each of you like best about the gallery night experience?
Well, we really count on it. I mean, we get about 600 people. And it's a big night for us. And I just, talking to all the people, and it's really a fun night.
Is that a steady stream? Can you handle? How many people can you handle in the gallery?
Throughout the evening. We're open 5 to 10, so it's a steady stream in and out. Yeah,
that's wonderful. That this concept works to get people circulating and socializing and really enjoying and seeing art that they wouldn't maybe otherwise see.
Right. Now, January, again, is a tricky one with the weather, so we may not hit the 600.
I think it's just supposed to be chilly. I don't think it's not supposed to be a blizzard or anything.
That's what I saw.
Knock wood. And then photographer, Bill Lemke, what do you like about it?
One of the best things is that, especially with the Marshall Building, is that you've got all of these artists in one place. And so people can really go there and see a lot. Even if the weather's bad, you stay in the building and you get to see a lot. But throughout the city, there's a lot going on and a lot of really great art to see. So.
Gallery Night MKE coming up on Friday in the historic 3rd Ward and actually all around Milwaukee. It's about 60 different participants this
I don't know if it's that many quite. There is a brochure.
But it's a lot. Yeah,
there's a great brochure. And so I would definitely pick up one of those. They also have a website, obviously. They're on Instagram. But the brochure is very handy to have.
It is. Gallery Night MKE. Look it up and make your plans for Friday and Saturday during the day. We will continue our conversation with Judith Hooks from Gallery 218 and photographer Bill Lemke about his Aging Gratefully, as in Grateful Dead, photo project. Next on What's on Tap.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Calling all Mariners and Sea Dogs.
It's time for the Milwaukee Boat Show. January 16th through the 18th and 21st through the 25th. Come to the Expo Center at State Fair Park for all things boating. And while you're there, register to win an HO Sports Beacon Kayak, courtesy of Skipper Buds. It's the Milwaukee Boat Show at the Expo Center at State Fair Park.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, joined in the WTMJ studio by Judith Hooks, director of Gallery 218 or 218 in the Marshall Building. However you like to say it best.
Either way.
As long as you get there. As long as you get there and see the art. And photographer Bill Lemke. Bill, how long have you been a photographer?
I started making photographs around 1972 when I was in high school.
What appealed to you about photography?
I was
film
actually
photography
on
at that
course
point.
to be an auto mechanic.
Yeah.
I took classes in high school, and then my senior year, I took a class in graphic communications, and part of it was photography. And I said, no more cars. I want to make photographs. And what I'd really like is for somebody to pay me to go out and travel and make photographs, which kind of happened with my commercial career.
What is so I love this. So I'm having our guests in because it's Gallery Night MKE. If you just missed that part of the conversation, Friday, absolutely free to stroll around dozens of establishments, not just art galleries, but also restaurants and stores that are featuring artwork. GalleryNightMKE.com is the website. And it's a really useful website. You can plot out your path. You can pick a couple different locations. It's very user-friendly to enjoy. And I hate to say exposed, to get exposed to, but discover is a better way to phrase it, isn't it? But discover artists that are right here in our area, which is why Gallery 218 is here to help us discover. So hang out there on Friday for free. But it is a great way to meet local artists. So we have about a minute before we have a newscast, and then we'll come back and talk about your exciting Grateful Dead project that has a special event at Gallery 218. But what's your quick path in like 60 seconds or less for photography?
So most of what I would photograph personally would be landscapes. I studied with Ansel Adams out in California, and I do very traditional work. I still shoot film. I still print in a darkroom. The Grateful Dead project came out of that as an interest because I like the Grateful Dead. It allowed me to write off my tickets as business expense because I was photographing at the concerts. But I've taken different avenues. I've done street photography in Egypt. I photographed Airstream trailers all over the West. But my main focus has always been the landscape. But then this project came about, and years in the making, and it's been really, really fun.
That's a showstopper right there. Before we get into the news, we'll go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center in just a moment, and then we'll come back and talk even more about photography and art and the aging gratefully Deadheads Then and Now book that you have created, especially timely now with the passing of Bob Weir and the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead. But I think I want to ask you about Ansel Adams, too. That's a name to drop in the middle of that conversation. I was like, oh, hold on. So I'm excited for the rest of our conversation. Stay with us here on What's on Tap. And now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Jessica Gatzo.
Thanks, Sandy. A man from Milwaukee is charged in the death of his pregnant girlfriend found after a house fire. 21-year-old Cameron Washington faces arson and multiple first-degree recklessly endangering safety charges in the death of 22-year-old Gladys Johnson Ball. Police found her body in the room that was on fire, but it's still unclear what caused her death. Washington has pled not guilty to misdemeanor charges of pointing a firearm at a person. If convicted on all of the current charges, he could face over 100 years in prison. A man from Union Grove faces federal charges for human trafficking. 35-year-old Hector Duarte is accused of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and interstate transportation for prostitution. Prosecutors say he caused one victim to engage in commercial sex acts between May and June of last year in Wisconsin and Illinois. If convicted on both charges, he could face life in prison. Milwaukee secures federal funding for traffic safety. The county will receive nearly $25 million from the U.S. Department of Transportation to complete more than 60 projects. Work will include high visibility crosswalks, traffic signal upgrades, and curb bump outs along 10 corridors of concern, roadways considered some of the most dangerous in the county. The city of Milwaukee will receive a separate grant of $8 million for safety improvements along portions of MLK Drive and Forest Home Avenue. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Mostly clear on the roads this evening. Looking at one incident, looks like that's blocking the exit to Loomis Road from I-41 894 West. And time for the WTMJ forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 32 degrees. Tuesday, a slight chance for rain, otherwise partly cloudy and still a bit windy, high of 45. Wednesday, a chance for snow, otherwise mostly cloudy and still windy. Temperatures fall back down to a high of 30. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 24. On Friday, a chance for snow, a high of 31. Right now in Madison, it's 31 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 31. In Waukesha, it's 33. And in Milwaukee, it's 35 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
We see you out there being an original, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, because you know we have everything you want and need at prices that give you the most for your money. Now that we're past the holidays, it's time to gift yourself men's and women's zero exposure outerwear, half price, 25% off select Carhartt graphic hoodies. Plus, rewards members save $4 on select bags of Blaine's Farm and Fleet dog food. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Every year I make the same resolutions.
What, get rid of your husband?
Don't be silly. No, get organized. And I'm finally keeping it.
Because we're turning that cluttered closet into a custom space that actually works.
More shelves, better hanging.
Space for shoes and sanity.
Start the new year with a closet that makes your mornings easier.
It's one resolution you don't have to do alone. We'll design it with you.
Get started at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Close your eyes and picture Europe by water, sunlit ports, ancient cities, and effortless elegance. With Viking Cruises and Fox World Travel, the Mediterranean becomes your front porch. No crowds, no casinos, just culture, cuisine, and curated experiences designed for curious travelers. From Italy to Greece, every detail is handled, so all you do is savor the journey. Ready to sail Europe the refined way? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book today.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Ford Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's your turn to enjoy life your way. At Capri Communities, they offer vibrant senior living where neighbors become friends, and each day brings something to smile about.
Well, it's breakfast with the boys, and then bingo is at 3 in the afternoon. I lost that super lady I lived with for 60 years, but have found a home and doing well. The accommodations, the facilities, it's been a pleasure.
Find your perfect new home at capricommunities.com.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
She's got everything we like for. She's got everything I need.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, and I'm joined in the studio by Gallery 218 director Judith Hooks and photographer Bill Lemke. And the two of you are collaborating. We just talked about all the fun that will happen on Friday at Gallery 218. Free strolling as Gallery Night MKE, and it's really easy to make your plans if you go to gallerynightmke.com or gallery218.com. But you're opening your doors so people can browse 6 different regional artists and talk and chat and hear the string theory duo. So you're tossing quite the party on Friday, Judith.
Yeah, we have a lot going on the whole month of January, actually, one after the other, so I'll be busy.
And tell us about the event on January 24th, a Saturday afternoon and evening, where your friend and photographer, Bill Lemke, here is going to be part of it.
Right, yeah. So if people, for some reason, miss gallery night, they can always come the next week, the 24th at 4 o'clock. And Bill is going to be giving a great talk about his work. We have a big screen he's going to be projecting his work onto. And we have books for people to buy, and he'll be signing them. And
it's a special book.
It's a great looking book.
Aging Gratefully, Deadheads Then and Now. I've had this circled on my calendar, but then with the sad music news of I started to say Bill Weir, because Bill Lemke, but Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead passing away on Saturday, I think there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be aching to connect with the Grateful Dead in particular, and in this creative way. And so you're throwing a party.
Right. So it was meant to be, book signing and talk and gathering, a celebration of the 60th anniversary. But now it's also kind of remembering. And and while Bill is busy selling and signing books, people can have refreshments. It will be non-alcoholic cocktails available by Curious Elixirs in Brooklyn, New York.
Dry January, people can stretch it out and still be social. Yep.
Yeah, we're on it. And we will have Cherry Garcia ice cream provided by Ben & Jerry's.
They're in the third ward now.
They are. And they're very generously donating the ice cream to us for that evening. Surprise.
What a perfect touch.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite flavor, Bill?
Well, I got lots of flavors that I really like because I really like ice cream a lot. But yeah, this would be very appropriate to have Cherry Garcia.
So we could all raise a cup of Cherry Garcia at your event on Saturday.
We thank them for their participation.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's
Aging
fantastic.
Gratefully is the name of the book and the name of the event. And you're also encouraged to wear your best tie-dye, I see, on the
of
invitation.
Course.
All the details at gallery218.com. But Bill, I'm so excited to ask you more about such a passionate project. It's called Aging Gratefully, like Grateful Dead. I see the pun in there. Deadheads Then and Now. You have the book with you, and you have a print of the cover boy?
Yep.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah, he was actually down here. We had a little event back in November, and he came down from Minneapolis to be there, so that was pretty special.
What's the name of your cover boy?
David, and it's spelled Dayvid, I believe.
That's a unique interpretation and expression of the name David. And what is David's story? Why did he make the cut to be the person that would represent Aging Gratefully?
Well, what's really funny is after I started making the photographs, I immediately saw that image and I thought, if I ever do an exhibition, I didn't really think much about a book at the time. But as things went on and it started to look more like a book, I thought, he's the guy I want on the cover. There was no question about it.
He just owned it. So tell everybody what Aging Gratefully is. You started a Kickstarter a little while ago and describe what you wanted to do.
Last spring, we started the Kickstarter. Now, so originally this project started in the mid-'80s, and I was going to Grateful Dead shows, and I thought, I want to document this culture somehow. And as a photographer, I saw it as a visual project. And I saw it as black and white images because I want all of the emphasis on the faces. I don't want it to be distracted by bright tie-dye or colors like that. So that's why I chose doing the images in black and white.
Which is so starkly different than what you expect. If you tell somebody, hey, I know a photographer who put together a Grateful Dead photography book of fans throughout the years, you immediately think kind of psychedelic colors and starbursts and dancing bears and all of that.
Yeah. And I did everything with a large format camera. So I'm out there with this big wooden camera with bellows and a dark cloth over my head, and I set up a portable studio. My friend Tom Fritz, who also has a few images in the book, was there with me, and he was photographing infrared scenes in the parking lot.
But this is really, in this day and age of modern technology where we take 16 selfies just to get the right one, describe what this process is for a large camera. And you're using film, and it's the old timey. Are you sticking your hand out from under the curtain with a big flash?
No,
are we going that far?
I'm not quite going that far. It's all available light. I set up this transparent cover over everything, and I've got a huge tie-dye backdrop, and I have people sit in front of that and photograph them. And I can't do this fast. It's, 10 minutes would be a really quick photograph of somebody because I have to have them seated. I have to focus. And once I'm focused and close the lens, I can no longer see them through the camera. And I'm putting in a film holder and pulling the dark slide, just the way they did it in the 1800s. But the quality is amazing to be able to shoot large format film. And then when I make enlargements, they're beautiful.
Wow. So you have these photos from the 80s when you're at Alpine Valley taking pictures. So were you purposefully taking portraits at those shows in the 89 and 88?
I started in 88 after thinking about it for a few years to decide how I was going to approach it. And the thought was to have an exhibition. I wasn't really thinking a book until later on when a guy named Jeffrey from Iowa contacted me, and he mentioned that his daughter had grown up. She was like 3 in the first photograph, and now she's living in Chicago. And he said, I'd like to have a print for my daughter so she can have one at her house too. So I sent him one. And while we were talking, he said, you're not far from Chicago. Why don't you come down? I'm going to be over there. Maybe you could photograph my daughter and I again. And I thought, well, that sounds like a pretty good idea. But then he mentioned his son was a chef and that he would make lunch. And I said, yeah, I'll be there. So Carmen and I went down.
Free meal, I'm in.
Absolutely. We had just a great afternoon with them, and I rephotographed them. And it was so much fun. But it's like, I don't do well with social media. How am I going to find these people again? And that's where Carmen comes in. And she has gone through every Grateful Dead site and posted images and found people and got their contact information and then arranged for us to be in wherever, California or on the East Coast. And we went as far as Thailand to photograph someone who can't come back to the country right now.
Wow. But is your wife, Carmen, an artist as well?
She's not, but she's good with social media.
But what a great contribution to make this artistic vision come together.
This would not have happened without her help. And then at one point, a little over a year ago, we were hoping to find a writer to interview the people and write their stories. And we tried a couple people, but they weren't deadheads. They didn't get it. And then at one point I said, Carmen, send a message off to David Gans in California. Anybody that's a Deadhead knows who David Gans is. He has programs on XM radio. He did the Grateful Dead Hour.
Mm-hmm. I used to work at WXRT in Chicago, so every Sunday night.
I used to listen to XRT a lot.
But it was, it's one of those places that brings people together. So David Gans.
We sent a message off, and I thought, he may never respond. And within minutes, he responded, and he said, I want to be part of this project. And he has been such a great help. He's interviewed the people. He does Zoom calls with them. And between him and Carmen, they did all the editing to put the stories in the book. But he's also a great promoter. I mean, on XM radio, he's got a lot of listeners.
Sure. Well, and the right people who want to connect with this.
Absolutely. His name carries a lot of weight. If I say, me, Bill Lemke, is doing a book, not too many people are interested. But if I say, I'm doing a book with David Gans, all of a sudden, I want to know about that.
The Good Housekeeping seal of approval.
Absolutely.
More about aging gratefully, Deadheads Then and Now, the book by Bill Lemke and writer David Gans. And we can see Bill's photos, not only in this book, but also on January 24th at Gallery 218. But more about the making of aging gratefully next on What's on Tap.
Pizza made with pride. That's what you'll get here. With a sauce recipe over 60 years in existence that we're not changing for the world. And we just can't get ourselves to skimp. So we still use only the highest quality ingredients, like our house recipe Italian sausage and our original thin crust dough that's made fresh daily and never frozen. And of course, always 100% real mozzarella cheese. You can't beat that or a Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
If you've been thinking about a makeover for your kitchen cabinets, let me tell you why now is the perfect time. During the New Year New Kitchen event at Redo Cabinets, you'll get 75% off installation with every remodeling project, plus no interest and no payments until 2027. That's right, 2027. It's Redo Cabinets' best offer of the year. You'll transform your existing kitchen with a fresh new look and premium products made right here in the USA. Quickly transform your dated kitchen without the hassle, the stress, and the cost of a full remodel with premium cabinet refacing in just days. Learn about the options, the colors, the styles, the accessories, and the savings. The Redo Cabinets New Year New Kitchen event is on now. Get 75% off installation, plus no interest or payments until 2027. Call today for a free, no-obligation consultation. Call 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit redocabinets.com. This year, don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? I'm Deb Cruz, president of ADAM, the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. The 114-member new car dealers that make up ADAM have extremely desirable service technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now, and new ones opening up every day. Whether you're just getting out of school or considering a career change, the salary and benefits are fantastic, and the potential for advancement is unlimited. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an ADAM member new car dealer. Live the life you've always imagined. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows.
Go to work happy when you go to work in the auto industry. For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
What's on Tap? Sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. And getting you psyched up for Gallery Night, MKE, which is Friday, a preview of what to enjoy at Gallery 218 on the second floor in the Marshall Building there. Judith Hooks, director of Gallery 218, is with me. And so is photographer Bill Lemke. And we have just a couple of minutes left. And not only is Gallery Night the place to be at Gallery 218, but also, Judith, you have planned Saturday, January 24th,
right?
The Aging Gratefully, Deadheads Then and Now book signing. You get to meet the photographer who's right here with me now, Bill, and enjoy these incredible big black and white prints that you have taken, these portraits of Grateful Dead fans back in the 80s at Alpine Valley, but then met up with, almost 40 of these portraits from back then and taken updated photos.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
I love it. And you yourself are a Grateful Dead fan and have followed the band for decades. And I wanted to say that it's such a beautiful project. Music brings people together. And there are no other communities like the Grateful Dead music community.
They've tried, but it's not quite the same.
Well, they've inspired.
They've actually inspired lots of different.
Yeah, you couldn't have some of the jam bands that tour if you didn't have this magic that the Grateful Dead brings together. But I'll tell you, one of the things that struck me, not only shooting in black and white for such a colorful community, why do you shoot in black and white?
There's a richness about it. There's no distraction. You're looking at people's faces, and there's nothing to take you away from those faces and those eyes.
And that you shoot completely in film. You have not. Yeah. Have you dabbled in digital?
Oh, I can do digital, but I really prefer film. I just enjoy it. I enjoy printing in the darkroom. We have long winters, so it's a good time to go in the darkroom.
Is film kind of like listening to vinyl music?
Absolutely. When I explain it to somebody, I do the same thing. I say it's the equivalent of vinyl versus CD.
That tactile experience. And I'm going to tell you that a sentence really struck me, that when you started the Kickstarter, you wrote, "I hope this book helps bring you hope for the future." Explain what you meant by that.
Well, we're living in some tough times, and it's just great to see this Grateful Dead community come together, and all they care about is music and each other. And it's just so much fun, and it's just great to hang around with people like that. There's no politics involved. It's just music. and the love of the music.
And community and caring about each other and truly good vibrations.
And it's always been that way. You go to the parking lot at a Grateful Dead show, people share. You know, if you need a sandwich, somebody's going to provide you with one. And it's really cool. And it's been great to reconnect with these people nearly 40 years later. Because we're still hugging like we saw each other last week. But it's been 35 to 40 years since I last saw some of them.
That's wonderful for you to also get enriched by this connection and by this project. And I'm so thrilled that Milwaukee PBS, the Arts Page show that I host, also did a feature with you this past summer. And one of the interviews is with identical twin sisters.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the comments that I think her name is Sharon says is, I haven't lost that fire. Like, you recaptured that youthful energy that you have, passion that you have for music and gathering with people, and you feel it all over again. So you gave them that gift by giving them that second portrait.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, too, is when you go to, like, Dead and Company back at the Sphere, you would see teenagers and you would see 80-year-olds. And we're all there for the music.
He is Bill Lemke, photographer and creator of Aging Gratefully, Deadheads Then and Now. And, Judith, you want to have one more invitation for everybody to join you?
Gallery night is Friday, 5 to 10, and Bill's talk is the next week, the 24th at 4 p.m.
Gallery218.com for all the details. Thank you both for being here, and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much.
Happy New
Year. And stay with us, how you can get up close to Brewers manager Pat Murphy. That's next on What's on Tap.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi. If you're about to or just considering selling your business, you're likely experiencing a flood of questions and new priorities. In this new interactive webinar, Annex Wealth Management's Anthony Malachnik and Brian Lamborn will join me, Steve Scavidi, discussing many of the key questions you may be asking, including who you should consult with, what tasks you should prioritize, and when you're ready to make that move. Join me, Steve Scavidi, Anthony, and Brian for this informative webinar. Go to annexwealth.com, click on the Events tab to join.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news, a rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS caused by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $152,000 in taxes because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a clear plan and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
All right, I know we're still bummed about the Packers, but hey, how about this? Brewers fans, a fun event this week is about to sell out. Brookfield, Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts, they're hosting an evening with Pat Murphy. And this is the artistic director there, Tyler Nicholas, with the details, if this sounds like fun.
On Thursday, January 15th at 7 o'clock, we are having a conversation with two-time NL Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy. and I couldn't be more excited to have him at the venue.
Quality time with Pat Murphy. That's cool.
There aren't many baseball managers that I'd want to hear talk for an hour and a half, but I think I could hear him talk for 5 hours.
The Q&A is also part of this chat.
So we're trying to make it a whole event. You know, the Birds used to do the winter warm-up, and that kind of fizzled out over the past couple of years. I feel like there's that appetite for baseball. The winter meetings, transactions are happening, things are moving. We're dreaming of tailgating. So we're trying to make it more of an event. So starting at 6 o'clock, we'll have Bernie and Barrelman there. Mini Stacked MKE. I don't know if you've heard them. They're a food truck that makes pocket pancakes. We'll be serving some delicious pocket pancakes. We'll have drink specials on tap.
Tyler, you can't have a night with Pat Murphy, especially after this past season, and not have pocket pancakes. That warms my heart.
He is a soundbite machine. He is a soundbite machine. He really is. We were looking at bringing the sausages, but we couldn't bring them all, and I couldn't pick a favorite. So we had to go. You can't have a lone sausage.
No, that's true.
So we brought Bernie and Barrelman out. It's going to be a great time. Pat is something else. So we've got Lance Allen, who will be guiding a 45-ish minute discussion with Pat, talking about the transactions. I'm trying to keep Pat on track, I'm sure, because we know he likes to go off on tangents. And then we'll do 30 to 45 minutes of audience Q&A. So if you've got questions about whatever, about the offseason transactions or this past season or just his philosophies about baseball.
That's a good time. Thursday, and it's about to sell out. An evening with two-time Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy, at the Wilson Center in Brookfield. I am Sandy Maxx. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for tuning in to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studio.